Hey, what is up, everybody? I'm here with,
James the Heatman Hebert.
and we're
What
just
up?
gonna pretty much, this is called the Wrestling Talk Extravaganza, just because I really didn't know what to call this at the time.
Yeah, well,
So
you
we're just
can
gonna
you
talk
can
about a
call it
bunch of random
TNA.
stuff.
You can call it the demise of TNA as we know it.
I could call, I'll change this title later. So this title is gonna
Yeah,
be changed later on.
yeah. This is more of a news update on the status of TNA. I'm sure a lot of people have already done this, but TNA is through at this point. I
Yeah.
think it's only inevitable at this point. So I'm gonna read to the fans right now to are watching this right now. The If you guys have not heard, I'm about to read it to you now about TNA's current status as a wrestling company as a whole. Um, Top wrestling magazines. This is the headline here. Top wrestling magazines no longer recognize TNA World Title as a World Championship. Pro Wrestling Illustrated, one of the longest running pro wrestling magazines, announced this week that the publication is no longer recognizing TNA World Heavy Championship as a world title. The magazine announced going forward, it will only be recognizing the WWE World Heavyweight Championship as a world heavyweight title. So I guess, sorry, I know I itch my nose in public. I don't care. but
If it happens.
yeah, but yeah, it was that was the worst news that could have possibly happened. Um, and now here is the real full issue on TNA's releases, and this is the full thing on. I think each individual guy, um, as noted, numerous. Hold on, I'm gonna read the headline first. Backstage news on why recent TNA releases are happening, who might be returning, how TNA currently sees itself, Global Force Wrestling, and more. I think this is important to read. It's because there might be some glimmer of hope, whatever is left, like maybe 1% of it. As noted, numerous TNA stars, including James Storm, Magnus, Taryn Terrell, Austin Aries, and more, have either finished up with TNA already or will be finishing up following what was passed already tonight's Slammiversary pay-per-view. It already happened, obviously, so I had to look back in history and Google. According to PW Insider, James Storm and Magnus approached TNA officials with and asked to be released from their current deals because TNA isn't running live events right now, and because Storm and Magnus have work waiting for them elsewhere. They wanted to be able to make money outside of TNA for their families. It was it was a business decision for them to leave. TNA officials were understanding of both Storm and Magnus' situations and agreed to release them from their current deals. So the whole Magnus and Storm thing,
That was a waste of
in the end, that it really, well, not really if you really think about it, because that means Storm kind of got Magnus in the Revolution, but now the Revolution's kind of dead.
too much.
I mean, what they
I
already
didn't even
released
like that whole
Sonata.
feud anyway.
They already released Sonata. Then I think Abyss is on the list too of releases. And what who do they have? Fucking Manic and Makoto.
Boy, yeah.
You know,
So how much you don't watch.
that whole thing was dead, and that had a lot of potential, which was the sad part.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah,
They lost a 3-on-1 handicap match to Drew Galloway because Abyss wouldn't let Koya get the pinfall. That was stupid.
yeah, that was
I know you didn't see it, but
that was horrendous. I saw it. It was bad.
but
So yeah, TNA were understanding of both Storm and Magnus' situation and agreed to release them from their deals. TNA understands the possibility that the company like WWE can sign both talents, but it's a risk TNA is willing to take. Really,
what the
you
fuck?
fucking
I have
tards.
actually read this
You
article.
fucking tards. Anyway, and the current feeling is Magnus will be working the first set of Global Force Wrestling tapings. So there you go with that. Maybe they're there's some glimmer of hope for TNA if they decided to do an invasion angle. TNA does have plans to bring both Storm and Magnus back for future TV tapings, assuming they don't sign with a company like WWE. So I guess TNA does have plans to bring them back, but at this current juncture, it's not going to happen until later on because I guess GFW is handling themselves a lot better. So I guess they're released for the time being, and then I think they're gonna have them switched over to TNA.
I mean, Jeff
So
Jarrett
yeah,
did talk about how he's willing to be partners with TNA. So I
yeah, I
don't.
know what you're saying there. Continuing with that, with regards to the current state of TNA, the company looks as itself right now as a TV product and is adjusting to doing business differently than before. Yeah, they did business differently before and they released AJ Styles and now here comes all these other fucking releases. How do you think that went over?
Yeah.
Fucking stupid asses. Anyway, so they're doing business differently than before. The company is not in the financial situation it was once in. I wonder why. So it's only able to keep top talents like Kurt Angle and Jeff Hardy locked into deals,
What the fuck?
which basically means they're basically going to eventually release everybody else.
That's what it sounds like.
Is basically what I'm getting out of this, because fucking that means they don't give a shit about Matt Hardy. They don't give a shit about EC3, who's their fucking champion for crying out loud. They don't give a shit about any of the other talent. They don't give a shit about Drew Galloway, who should be top talent at this point.
That wise has been really ruined Drew Galloway too.
I More talent releases, departures could be happening in the near future, but it is being said that TNA is very interesting and was working with Jeff Jarrett in Global Force Wrestling. And with Jarrett's impending Hall of Fame induction and talent share between promotions, it's not out of the question. So I couldn't find a news article about this, but here's what this basically means for anybody who doesn't understand. What has basically happened is there's going to be numerous things that's going to happen, but basically what it is Jeff Jarrett, even though this wasn't the original plan, is now going to have GFW work with TNA because he wants to try and save whatever's left of TNA. Basically meaning that the only way that this was going to work was for TNA to officially become an indie company, which it has, because their TNA title is no longer considered a world championship. Their roster is kind of now going back and forth between GFW and TNA. So that means one of two things is going to happen at this point, or one of three things. Number one is they're going to say fuck it to TNA entirely, and they're going to sign all the TNA talent that they have, most of it anyway, if not all of it, and sign them over to GFW. If TNA goes under and they just decide to cancel the program mode and Destination America. Number two, they're going to have GFW have an invasion storyline before Impact Wrestling is off the complete roster, and then maybe GFW will take the time slot and it will turn into GFW Impact Wrestling or something like that, where they have like the entire roster as a whole, where they have new guys basically competing with Ring of Honor's stacked roster, with the whole thing with New Japan, and become like one global like entity, like instead of just two companies partnering up with each other like Ring of Honor is. Or the third thing is they're going to continue this whole idea, or the third thing is, and this is a long shot, by the way, TNA, GFW, and Ring of Honor will all be in some sort of partnership along with New Japan, which is what I think Jeff Jarrett has been going for this whole time, and go for like some sort of humongous conglomerate, and then maybe later on go for AAA and others to try and create what truly is known in the title as Global Force Wrestling. So that means acquiring TNA stars, Ring of Honor stars, New Japan stars, AAA stars, Lucha Underground, maybe even. So they're real. I think that's the long shot of all the possibilities. But I'm looking. The realistic one at this point is the first one. Is that they're going to go under and then they're just going to sign all the talent away, because that's what it's looking like.
Yeah, I probably think the first one. I hope if anything, I hope the third one happens.
Yeah,
But
because I'll be excited if the third one happens by far. But I it's such a long shot. Like you can't even hope for it.
yeah, who even knows if TNA will be around that long for the third one to even happen?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's gotten so bad, TNA wise. I mean, they had a chance to. I mean, Draven and I were talking about it over the phone, like on Tuesday. Like they had the chance, the biggest chance to compete with WWE since WCW, and they never went and grabbed for that ring. They never went and grabbed for that brass ring when it was dead in their face, like so many times.
You even said
Um,
you pretty much everything that we want to say. You've said in that TNA what could have been video. So
It really, that's really what it is. I mean, and the sad part is now, I wanted to watch TNA because I heard it was such an amazing episode this week. I heard that even though it was their last appearance, I think they got them for one more appearance. It was their last appearance for the Dirty Heels as a team. But the best of five series was awesome. I heard that match was amazing,
yeah,
and it was their best encounter yet. That was the best encounter that they've had. It was a classic, right up with Motor City Machine Gun and Beer Money. Like that's how good that was. So Bobby Roode's got two historic tag team matches under his belt with that company. And I heard that like Matt Morgan is back now, and everybody's pumped for that. And I get all of that, but I mean,
I'm not really too pumped for Matt Morgan. I'm not a huge Matt Morgan fan, but you know,
I honestly I thought he showed so much potential when he was in TNA, and it was such a shame they used shit of it. Like he was
he could have been something like when he came back with Joey Ryan, and
no, and then not really. I mean that the whole Hulkamania cape thing killed him.
yeah,
It killed him dead. Like he went to a doctor's degree. I can't believe he's even back. To be honest, I thought he'd be staying with his doctor's degree job. Honestly,
yeah,
honestly he wasn't having fun with it. So
yeah. But yeah,
I,
well,
I don't even know, man. Like I mean, I've said it before. I don't even know if I have the roster anymore, but the roster would have been huge for TNA, and they just killed themselves, man. They shot themselves in the fucking leg by hiring Bischoff, and
and you
it's
even
it's
said that
just gonna
wasn't
downward
that wasn't
spiral.
even a fantasy. It actually could have happened, and I actually believe that could have happened. You know, if they had, like you said, that they had stuck to their guns, it could have
I
happened.
mean, the bottom line is they had too many people dip their hands out of the pot. I mean, it's just what happened. It's the sad tragedy of a company that should have just stuck with its guns. I mean, they were original. They were the most original wrestling company when they started out.
Yeah.
They're the
So
first
now,
one to bring
so now Hulk Hogan's killed two wrestling companies.
Hulk Hogan. No, I mean that's the sad part is that Hulk Hogan only killed TNA. He never killed WCW. That was Vince Russo and Bischoff's and Nash, like all three of those guys. They had nothing to do with Hogan. Hogan actually tried to save the company on multiple accounts. I mean, he was also a money grabbing whore. Don't get me wrong, but he also tried to save it. He even said that he was trying to save it.
Yeah, I know. I gotta watch that Monday Night Wars then, because then it will give me a lot of. I mean, I know some of it, but it'll give me more info.
Yeah, I mean, the sad. it's a sad state of affairs right now with TNA. Like I don't think I'm doing Wednesday Night Wars anymore, and it sucks because it was a really awesome concept, like to review 3 shows in one.
Yeah.
But I can't with TNA. It's not. I don't want to just review like Ring of Honor and NXT. You know, and even if I had Lucha Underground, if I had El Rey, I would review that too. But like if I can't review TNA, which is the mainstay, quote unquote, and it's like the product that's 2 hours, the one product that is 2 hours, and I can't even review that because of the shape that it's in. Like I've kind of lost interest in that show, sadly,
I
after
know.
2 episodes of doing it.
No, like I don't even know like if I should even continue watching it, like because it's gonna go under, and I don't want to keep investing my time into watching something that's really not even gonna be around anymore.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of it's gone to the point where I can't do that. I can't put myself through that fucking torture. Like it's gonna make me depressed. I mean,
Once you get to TNA, NXT, and well, you should be at least pumped about. Win of Honor, I guess you should be pumped about. I gotta watch that shit. Gotta.
no, yeah, Ring of Honor is amazing. I didn't get a chance to watch it this week though, sadly. Um, I'll have to next week, just to catch up a little bit. But yeah, it's just I can't watch TNA, man. Like I really try, I really do, and I mean, there was a lot of stuff I was enjoying too, and it was like like I watched again when it finally started getting good again, and then this crapshoot happened. It's
I
just like,
know.
it's not. There's no point.
Like that episode they had live with Jeff Jarrett returning. Jeff Jarrett returning, I thought was gonna have so much potential. I mean,
Yeah, well,
it still could, but
it still could, but for what? I mean,
now that
they don't even have a legitimate world championship anymore. Like,
yeah,
so I mean, I don't know, man. Like it's bad. I mean, they've released so many guys now that it's pointless. They've released all of their original guys. They don't, and they have no originals. They have no original guys anymore. They don't have like
the only one.
low key's another one that was on that list.
Oh,
Low key also left. Um,
so yeah, I guess they're gonna end the BDC, which I'm happy about. I didn't even like the BDC, but
yeah, so yeah, I think Eli Drake too. So that Revolution BDC feud was completely pointless.
well,
Um,
It was the Rising, but they
Whatever the
already.
fuck it was, a fucking Revolution Rising. There's like 3 factions that they built up in the same time period, which is another reason why it killed them this year. I thought it was stupid. They should have gone with one. It should have been with the Revolution. It should have ended that way. Like the Revolution, when it started out, was the most legitimate faction, and they treated it like the most illegitimate. They pushed the other 2 factions that weren't received well. If anything, they should have done a beatdown clan versus Revolution feud. I would have enjoyed that way better than this
Yeah.
fucking Rising. Like, what is even the Rising? You have a Scotsman, a wannabe Mexican, and a fucking wannabe Drake
Want to be quick?
teaming up and like trying to call themselves the future of TNA. What future?
They were even saying that they were trying to stand up for professional wrestling and stand
Yeah,
up.
how are you standing up for professional wrestling when you're trying to be somebody you're not? 2 of them anyway. Drew Galloway means what he says, but like, what the
Yeah,
fuck?
he had good
And
promos too when he was doing that stuff. It
and
just
I mean, I like this guy. I like this guy, but also have Chris Melendez in the Rising, but like,
actually not really. He
not for,
was
he's in there, but for what?
yeah.
Like, why is he in there? Like, what is the purpose? Like, I feel like he would get over by himself just because he's a one-legged wrestler who can actually wrestle, who could
Yeah.
actually go in the ring, who could actually probably produce some 5-star matches out of his ass.
They don't
But
even use
they
him now.
don't.
Everybody, they,
No, I mean,
it feels like
I honestly, and another thing I was enjoying with TNA too, the Chris Melendez Eric Young feud was awesome.
yeah, it made sense. Who
Like,
like
I really have enjoyed that program, and now I can't even watch the ending of it just because it's gonna make me depressed by the end because it's just like, What am I watching it for if it's going to go under, you know?
Yeah. At this point, I guess I'm gonna make this now. No more P&A reviews unless they do. I don't even know what they can do now at this point to get me back into watching this. That might have been the fine. That this week's review might have been the last one.
Yeah, honestly, I don't blame you. I couldn't even do the Wednesday Night Wars. I was too. First off, I was wrapped up in my own stuff. Like I couldn't go. I didn't even have time for wrestling all this week. That's why I've been pretty like for the past 3 weeks. That's why I've been inactive on my YouTube page lately, which
Yeah.
isn't happening anymore now. I'm gonna try to start getting back into the swing of it, but like I'm not gone forever. But
It
the
happened.
just the simple fact that I did want to do this show, and now this happens, and now like it killed my vibe to even continue it.
Yeah. Like
So I don't even know, man. It's I'm gonna put my laptop down for a minute because you know, I need to get nice and warm because it's actually really cold in my room because AC and shit, and it's
yeah.
cold out tonight.
I went in the kitchen.
Yeah.
But yeah, TNA. Like I am the big question though. What do you think really killed TNA? Someone who's watched from the beginning. Like, what do you think really killed him? Like, it's probably tough to say because there's probably so many things that did
Put
kill him.
put it this way, I'm not a beginner, but I can tell you from like I felt like a beginner because I watched all their history. From a person who's basically watched from the beginning, I honestly have to say that what really killed them was piss poor management
Hmm.
and not authoritative authority on Dixie Carter's part. Like it is, that's what killed it. I
Maybe
mean,
yeah, I think Dixie Carter could have possibly killed it. You know.
put it this way. I mean, I can't stress on how much I think Vince is a scumbag. I always think that, and I hope I never have to work for the guy in my life. But the one thing that has helped him throughout his whole career in wrestling, period, was his ruthless aggression. No kayfabe intended with that. Like that's what really helped him. And Dixie has absolutely none of it. She has no business even running a wrestling promotion. It should have been Jeff Jarrett from day one. From
Yeah, I
day
feel like
fucking one. Dixie should have been the vice president or something, if she wanted to be that involved with it. But no way should she have been the president.
how did she even? Because I haven't watched it. How did she even like get control? What made Jeff Jarrett want to have her even have any say in it? What happened?
I don't think it was into even his thing. I think it was just a financial issue that he had to get like some rich family to buy it out, and it happened to be the Carter family. So I think her father bought it, and her father made the her in charge. So she ended up getting full power. And
Think about all the storylines that the one storyline I think was bad was that whole AJ Styles Dixie Carter feud where they brought Claire Lynch, and that was bad. If they
yeah, no, don't even get me started with that. But anyway,
Dixie Carter was like fully in that storyline, so he had control of what happened in that storyline.
but um, if we're not talking about a business perspective, I guess if you're talking about somebody who's watching the very beginning, I guess um, I think part of the other reasons that TNA went under. First off, I think it's on Jeff Jarrett. Also, I mean, the fact that he did what he did with Karen Jarrett originally before they even got together. I mean, the fact that Karen was with Angle and Jarrett cheated on Karen with, or Jarrett cheated on, or Karen cheated on Angle with Jarrett, and Jarrett agreed to it. Um, I mean, Dixie's got a heart of gold for that. I'll give her that because I probably would have done the same thing. I would have released him from that. Like that, you don't fucking do that. Like if you're gonna treat your wrestling company like a family, don't be don't be don't be bullshitting my freaking employees and cheating on them with their fucking and using their wives as your fuck buddies.
Yeah.
You know, it's not okay. And I know Jarrett and Angle are cool now. Um, which is completely fine with me. As far as other reasons, I mean,
Maybe bringing in all the old guys to
yeah, Italia definitely. Oh my God. Well, that I don't even know if that's a business or personal thing, but
both probably.
I think it's both, honestly, because Dixie only did it because she felt bad for the old veterans. Honestly, that's why I think they were even that. That's why I think they were even employed. Um, I mean, Nash was a drunk alcoholic in DNA.
I heard Scott and
Like
Scott Hall had his own issues.
he was, yeah, Scott still wasn't clean yet, and they had him hired. Like they were both drunken messes every day. I mean, Nash was worse. I'll give Scott credit. I mean, Scott's like a fucking pancake walk when it comes to putting those two together. Like Nash was ranting and raving on Twitter, asking outrageous questions on for people. Like he would blow his paycheck on beer, and then he would ask like he would do sexual favors to their mothers on Twitter. Like it was bad. Like the
And
fact
then
that and he still had, and after he tweeted that they still had him employed. I don't even get it.
and then we had X Pac. I heard he was pretty bad too.
Yeah, well, X Pac was kind of moderate. He wasn't really that bad, but
And then who else was there? But like, it's not even like the people that didn't deserve this.
well,
The
no,
old
it was a whole clique of the NWO like that they brought in, though, which they called the band. I mean, and then but they for whatever reason, out of the worst of the three, they released X Pac, and then they decided to put the sober Eric Young, well, the sober responsible drinker of Eric Young with the true drunken idiots and called them all three of them the band,
yeah,
which didn't make any sense to me on that. Um, and I mean they signed Foley. They had Foley as champion.
I thought McFoley could have done helped the company, just not wrestling, but he could
I
have been.
mean but I don't even know. Like for whatever reason, his promo skills were probably some of the very best in TNA. So I guess you could have had him as the champion for a month just for that alone. Honestly, I don't think it would have really killed the company, but I think they had them like champion for like 3 months.
Yeah,
And he beat Sting to get the belt, who was way more in shape than Sting. I mean, but Sting was an old guy too, you know. So I mean,
and then
I don't
You
even
know what
know.
else probably killed TNA? Immortal. That probably killed TNA somewhat.
God.
And then maybe
See, the thing is, if they had done Hogan and Bischoff, um, and then Jeff Hardy with, I would have done like the whole Immortal faction to be Jeff Hardy, Van Dam, um, Foley maybe, if he was still employed at that point, Sting,
yeah,
and Kurt Angle, and
yeah,
and then you probably could have brought in Jeff Jarrett also, Abyss. Like I would have made those guys, those seven guys for Immortal. Like that would have been a way credible faction than what they did because they had no plan for Immortal. They
not to,
basically just decided, oh, we're gonna compare. Like this was their thing that they did. They decided, hey, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna have all these 50-year-old plus veterans, and then we're gonna have them outshine all the TNA talent, and then we're gonna create this young group of guys called Fortune. We're gonna make them suck. Not only we're gonna make them suck, but we're gonna have them job out to a generic version of a remade ECW faction, only to be a generic version of the NWO back, and then combine them all together and have Jeff Hardy as the main focal point.
yeah.
Which then they didn't count the fact that Jeff Hardy decided to coke out in the middle of a fucking main event match at Victory Road, which completely killed off any credibility that Immortal could have ever gotten when they got Bully Ray and Scott Steiner. So they were
Yeah.
fucked.
And then what else killed TNA? Aces and Eights. That was bad. It had potential
Yeah, which that had potential too.
with the
The
whole
fact,
mask thing, and then they. You know what the problem with
the
Ace was? They always lost. They lost.
yeah,
I mean,
they were not a feud. They were a group of married jobbers. That's what it was, except for Doc and Anderson. That was really it. And Devon. That was it.
and Bully
And
Way.
even they lost a lot.
Bully Way.
Bully Ray was like the only guy in that whole group that actually won matches because he was the main focal point. Again, they made Bully Ray the main focal point, but they never did it with anybody else. They never decided to think of making Nash as
They never what? You're looking really choppy.
man.
Hello,
A guy
James.
in Anderson,
James is glitching out.
Scott Hall,
James, you're glitching out.
really good.
You're glitching out. I can't hear you. You're frozen. Hello?
Wait, whoa. Hold on. Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you now. You were really choppy. I couldn't hear what you were saying. Can you repeat it, please?
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I mean the whole thing with that is
You fucking serious? This is fucking bullshit. You're choppy
it
again.
had
You're
potential
choppy again.
and it
I'm just gonna wait until he can hear me. You're choppy. You're choppy. I can't hear you. You're really choppy right now. Let me try something.
should have been.
Done it before. All right, let's try. All right, try it now. Hello? All right, left. All right. But yeah, I don't really know what he was saying. TNA, though, I'm just going to keep talking. Really is going through a. Okay, here he comes. All right. You good? All right, maybe I should try. I'm going to try keeping my headphones on.
Yeah, because well, you're frozen in place still. I don't know what the hell that's all about.
All right, I can see you now, but I don't know.
Yeah, I just can't see you. You're frozen in place, but as long as you can hear me, that's that's more important. Basically, what I was saying was like they had potential to make it like the NWO Biker Edition, and they had a lot of potential, and they fucked it up with putting a bunch of jobbers in instead of
Yeah.
real key talent. And I mean, if an indie company can do a biker club gimmick better than the fucking main roster, that's fucking sad because the Bullet Club is the hottest thing right now in the indies right now, and so hot in fact that they're on national television now when it comes to Ring of Honor.
Oh, damn. I'll definitely check that out.
You know, so I mean, and AJ Styles isn't even the leader, but it's like he's the main vocal point. Like I don't even know. Like the funny part is the main focal point is Styles, but really it started with Prince Devitt. Devitt was the original leader before he went to WWE as Finn Balor. If you
Yeah.
watch that whole documentary, but in
Yeah.
reality, he was actually you know, the fact that they even mentioned the Bullet Club in WWE, that just kind of goes to show you how much their popularity is in wrestling. Like they're the hottest thing going in wrestling right now, right behind NXT as a whole. Like that's how huge they are. Um, AJ Styles is the main vocal point, but yet Carl Anderson's the leader. But Carl Anderson wants AJ Styles to have the main vocal point of that.
Which is cool because normally the leader does so.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, they did that right. You know, they did a biker club right. way better than TNA ever could, and it got it so much to the point where it got Ring of Honor on mainstream television. That's why Destination America wanted Ring of Honor in the first place, was because they wanted to put the Bullet Club on since they had the partnership with New Japan.
Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah.
So,
But yeah,
I mean, the fact that TNA couldn't do that, like, baffles my. It baffles me. It really does, because they were mainstream, and they fucked up.
so my question is, what do you think? What really made the Aces, like what really made the Aces and Eights? What really fucked them up? What really, like, I know you said all the jobbers, but what was the point where you realized that they could not save that stable anymore? Like what?
As soon as they revealed, like, in the 2-week process, it was like they revealed like 3 members. I remember it was Nux, Garrett Bischoff, and West Briscoe. I knew as soon as they revealed those 3, I knew they were done.
Yeah, I always call him Mike Knox because it's that's how you say his name, Mike Knox, not Nux, Mike Knox.
Fucking Nux. Like, what? Nux instead of Knuckles. It's Nux.
Yeah.
Fuck. This
They made
bullshit.
they made Doc look so weak. He was supposed to be the director of Chaos, but he looked so weak.
Oh, we can't forget there was another faction in the end. I forgot about the Menagerie. The Menagerie was the 4th fucking faction. We forgot about the Menagerie.
Let's talk about how bad it was when they built it up. They had Nux or Mike Knox, but you know.
Didn't TNA at like one point had 5 factions this year? I swear they had 5 factions. They had the Beatdown Clan in its entirety. They had the Rising in its entirety. They had the Revolution in its entirety.
They have the
entirety, and then they had like the fucking
the Dollhouse.
The Dollhouse in entirety.
Holy fuck, that's a lot of factions.
Which, by the way, their main vocal point, really, if you think about it, is the Dollhouse, because the theme song that they use for the Dollhouse, the theme song is not even by Dale Oliver. It's a song by fucking it's a song by I think the band Whore from like the 1990s.
I don't like the song that much.
Yeah, but I mean, the point is, it's by a punk band that was from the 1990s.
Yeah.
That goes to show you how much where their finances are going. They're making the Dollhouse the main vocal point, which it isn't even getting over. I mean, I like the song, honestly, in my opinion. I like the idea of the faction, but the all over execution of it is piss fucking poor, so bad.
They should have just done it. It would have been better if they had gone to NXT.
Yeah, way better, especially Jade, because Jade's the one who can actually wrestle.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you which one can actually. Let me see, Jade. So Jade.
Well, Taryn and Jade are the ones that can wrestle. I don't. The girl with the afro, I think, sucks.
No, I think Jade is. No, wait. Marty Bell is the one that that doesn't have the afro. And Jade's the one that does. So I think you're saying Marty Bell is the one that can wrestle.
Yeah, Marty Bell. Yeah, I don't even know. They all act the same. They all act like ratchet hoes who act like 7-year-olds.
Yeah, with the whole with slumber parties and when they whisper stuff to each other, and then when Terrence Wells sings in the camera, like ew, like that's stuff that my little sister would do.
It is so retarded.
But I gotta tell you though, Taryn Terrell. I don't know if you know this because you haven't been watching. She did break the record of the longest reigning Knockouts champion. She's the longest reigning Knockouts champion now. Just figured I'd let you know.
Yeah, the fact that they built her up so much, and then the fact that they released her, and now the Dollhouse isn't even a fucking thing anymore.
Oh yeah. By the way, I gotta tell you though, so they released her. Was Abyss on the list?
Hold on.
All right. Yeah. I'm just gonna mute your mic while you're doing this. Or is this a text?
Hold on. I'm just gonna say can't talk doing out.
Who is it, anyways?
Call you in a few. It's my friend Ronnie.
Oh.
But yeah, I think other things that killed TNA, in personal entirety, also I think was the fact that um they had this strange attachment to Russo.
They kept hiring him back. Yeah, they hired him back countless times.
I mean, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if Dixie was cheating on her husband with fucking Vince Russo. That's how much they kept bringing him back.
Yeah,
Like it was bad.
they don't even really. The fans don't even really chant TNA anymore.
Yeah, that's another thing that killed him. I think that their real last TNA chant, I think, like their real last actual TNA chant was the fact that fuck it off. Fucking phone. Yeah, I think their true last TNA chant was Full Metal Mayhem between Team 3D, the Hardys, and the Wolves. That was it.
Which I missed because the
It was
product
it
had
was
gotten the product had gotten so bad before that I missed that, and I couldn't find those matches anywhere.
yeah, which goes to show you their fucking film crew is fucking retarded. Um,
But yeah, I wish I could have found those matches.
yeah, TNA has lost a
I
lot
mean,
of.
they even got rid of like Mike Tenay off commentary. Like that just shows they're trying to change because he was like the original TNA commentators. They got rid of him off commentary. Like I don't even you
I
don't
mean,
really.
yeah, I mean the fact that because Taz left, I don't even understand. Like Taz was sort of kind of original when it came to the TNA team. Like he was there for like 4 or 5 years, and they got rid of him, and then they got rid of Mike Tenay off of the thing,
Well,
which
yeah,
made no sense to me.
he's still there. He's just
Because when Josh Matthews and Mike Tenay were commentating together on an episode of Impact, it was actually really good, and then they replaced him with
the Pope.
goddamn dreadful D'Angelo Dinero. Like I love him as an athlete, man, but him as a commentator fucking is horrendous.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
I'd rather hear Booker T say "shucky ducky quack quack" 60,000 times than hear Pope say "daddy."
Yeah, I know.
Like,
He said it
oh
so
yeah,
often too.
look in the mirror, daddy. No, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Not everybody is daddy on commentary. Be fucking professional, please. Stop using your catchphrases like you're still an active wrestler.
I guess one thing I could ask you though is what did you think of the TNA paper? Did you get to check out Slammiversary or no?
No, because I wasn't gonna pay fucking $9.99, even if it was WWE Network price. I wasn't gonna
Well,
pay for $10 to see a show that I knew was going to go under after the news I heard. I was seriously considering watching it, and then I heard that.
you
And
could have watched it for
no.
free. I pirated it for free. I streamed it for free.
You just fucked yourself up on that one. I hope you know her life.
Yeah, it is what it is.
You
But I
know,
stream.
I mean, the fact that they're even paying, they're at this point that now they're selling their own pay-per-views as network prices. I mean, I think also another thing may have been the WWE Network debut, because I like once that debuted, man, like it really just kind of killed pay-per-view. Like I think Ring of Honor was even really cheap. Like it was like 12 something,
Yeah.
and like the new fad at this point really is, even though it's kind of a joke now, $9.99. So I like TNA kind of did that because like pay per view buy rate isn't even a thing anymore for wrestling. Like it's all on WWE. Really, WWE is the only one with a main show line of pay per views, and it's all on the network now. So
Yeah, I know. Like I to be honest with you, I even questioned why TNA even bothers to do pay-per-views anymore. Like when they were
like
doing Slammiversary, I didn't. They
I
didn't
didn't
even
even
really
I
train.
didn't even they didn't really have anything to build up with it. It was just like a normal TNA even, except for like the one King of the Mountain match.
And maybe Magnus and James Storm because they were building that up on Impact. Well, TNA Impact.
Yeah, that's it. It was just like
But I didn't even like that feud that much because of You know what really killed that feud was when Mickey James like fell down off the into the train tracks, and apparently like a train hit her, and she isn't, and they said no physical damage happened. I think that made no sense because if you get
Yeah, that makes no sense. You would be dead if a train fucking ran you over.
yeah, so and they didn't even explain, and then she's like on Impact like 3 weeks later.
Hi, hi, I'm okay now.
They even said all they said that happened was there was emotional damage.
Emotional damage.
No, this should be
Are you shitting me? You just got run over by a train. You want to talk to me about emotional damage?
what emotional damage can be done if you get hit by a train. That should be
Who is in charge of the grammar department in TNA again? Because I don't think they realize emotional from physical.
Yeah. By the way, Billy Corgan, I don't think Billy Corgan, everyone thought Billy Corgan was going to help TNA, but he didn't, nothing happened with that.
Billy Corgan would have helped TNA in 2007, not TNA now.
Yeah.
Like,
But remember,
holy shit, it's beyond repair.
But do you remember Oy when we told Oy about that? Oy was just like, TNA just got a lot better.
Yeah. Would have gotten a lot better, like, when we were in 2000, like, would have gotten better, like, 8 years ago. In 2007, not now.
Yeah.
You kidding me? Like, Jesus fuck. I mean, I appreciate Billy Corgan for trying because he actually is putting on some good storylines, but
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's showing on. I mean, I was really enjoying the EC3 Kurt Angle program. I was enjoying the Magnus and Storm program, honestly, just because it's Magnus and Storm.
It was hard to, once the Mickey James thing happened, I just couldn't.
Yeah, it was, but that was, yeah, I know what you're saying with that. But I mean, and the and other things too. I was really enjoying the whole Chris Melendez Eric Young feud.
Yeah.
I was enjoying a lot of their stuff, man. But I mean,
I didn't mind the Wabi.
beyond repair.
I didn't mind the Wabi E Jesse feud. I don't like Wabi E, but at least they had a purpose for fighting.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like Robbie E. I don't really like Jesse that much either. The only really one I really liked in the whole group was DJZ. Let's be
And
honest, DJZ was the fucking star.
yeah, and he didn't even do it. He really wrestled. I mean, he wrestled once in a while, but he didn't.
Well, yeah, at the time, he was wondering if he had cancer, I think.
Uh,
Yeah, so that was another huge letdown for TNA. Was when Sema Ion couldn't really wrestle anymore, but then he got back into it. Luckily, he didn't have cancer.
yeah.
But like, Jesus fuck, man, like they've lost so much. Like the X division isn't even the same anymore. It is.
It's not even. It doesn't even feel like that's a thing anymore.
I mean,
they have some stars in there. Like
they have Tigre Uno is fucking amazing. I love Tigre Uno. I love Loki. Well, Loki's not in there anymore, but yeah, my point. I mean, I love Tigre.
I like Manic better with Suicide, but that's just me.
I wish they just. Why didn't they do like Suicide as somebody else that could have done that role and like made Manic TJ Perkins or something and had that outfit the entire time for him?
Yeah, and then he could have gone to the level. They still could have done all the stuff they did with them. Actually, Suicide used to be one of my favorite guys on TNA. I used to always root for him to win matches, and then TNA.
Yeah, yeah, I did too. Like he was, and that was another letdown. But then that was played by Kaz too, originally. So
I even heard this. They always even wanted you to believe that T.J. Perkins was always Suicide. That's what they always wanted you to believe.
That was, which we all know is bullshit because Kaz played Suicide for like 2-3 years.
I think Christopher Daniels
from the video game all the way up to real life, and all the way on where he just kind of said that, like they had that throwaway match with Matt Morgan, and then he just disappeared off the face of the planet, and then here comes Kaz. Actually, Kaz is re-signed by TNA, which is fucking stupid.
I will. Yeah, they even lost Bad Influence, which they were really good tag tag team on TNA.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed them.
which now bad influences on Ring of Honor, as known as the Addiction.
Yeah, I'm gonna yeah.
So
Then
like they're on there, and it's just like
um
Ring of Honor is the new TNA. Like I really think that like Jeff Jarrett should be partnering up with New Japan and Ring of Honor.
maybe he'll try.
Like that's where it's at.
Yeah, not TNA. I have a feeling the reason why they made up with Jeff Jarrett is because TNA was desperate. They were desperate.
Yeah, no, really, you think? Because they got no other options. They
Yeah,
have to put grudges aside. Otherwise, they're gonna be fucked.
I know. I have a feeling once the Wolves' contract go up, they're gonna be gone. They're not gonna want to stay there if it gets to that point. If they even survive that long.
Yeah, I
Like
mean,
I don't even know why the Wolves even went.
the-
Went.
I think Dave Meltzer said it best, man. I mean, I, I'm not mad at them for anything they're doing now. I'm not really mad at them fucking stupid.
Wait,
Honestly,
what?
like
I
over the
you kind of
years, I'm quoting Dave Meltzer, and just I'm mad at them mainly. The main reason, the number one reason why I'm mad at them is for them being so fucking stupid. This is the most. This is probably the most tragic story you will ever hear in the pro wrestling world.
TNA, yeah. All the when it came up, it had
It's an
potential.
amazing. It literally, if you watch the movie Titanic, that's what it is.
Yeah, it
It
was fun.
started off great and it just sunk.
Yeah. Um. Now that TNA is going to be gone, well, at least that's what we think right now. I want to remain hopeful at least that it won't be gone because I don't want to say that.
No, I want people to be employed and have a TV deal, but I feel like that's already kind of happened with GFW. That's why I don't really care anymore if TNA goes under now,
and then they have Ring
because
of
all
Honor, Lucha
most of their
Underground,
talent is going to be signed by GFW, and if not, they'll go straight back to Ring of Honor.
or they can go to Lucha Underground. They can even go to NXT.
Yeah, like there's a lot of opportunities for a lot of guys, and it's just the bottom line right now. You know, it's
But some of people are going to be. I feel like Kurt Angle wouldn't be as screwed. He could go to WWE, but he tried that once, and now they didn't take him before. So
I think his next stop would be GFW.
yeah,
Honestly,
they can even have
I think he at this point he'd be in the legend section though. Like I don't even think he'd be like he'd have to be in the legend section. The guy's way. I mean, as great as the wrestler this guy is, and he had match of the year with Aries. He had a match of the year candidate with Aries. I mean, he's in reality, it's because he doesn't wrestle as much. You wouldn't be able
yeah,
to tell on TV, but he really doesn't. He really doesn't wrestle that much. If he were to
yeah,
wrestle fully, like they're doing right now in GFW, like how they're touring all over the place right now, Kurt Angle would not be able to keep up.
yeah,
In reality, Kurt Angle is 46 years old.
yeah. I know. He
That's why he was asking for a part-time contract with WWE. So he would have to be just a GFW like legend or something.
yeah. I don't know why they didn't even give him a part-time contract. That was stupid. WWE, but
No, trust me. We all thought that, but whatever.
I mean, just think of the matches you could have had in WWE with this
Yep,
part-time contract.
I agree with that. But
Um,
yeah. I mean, I don't really want to talk about this as much. I think we kind of got all of our grief on the plate with it. But the bottom line is, if anybody's waiting for the next third episode of the Wednesday Night Wars, that ship has sailed, man. It's over with that. I can't, mainly because of TNA.
so yeah. Sorry,
That
guys.
that's kind of that thing. As good as good as it was creating the channel icons and everything and whatnot, it's not worth it in the end, especially when I have to review a sinking ship.
Yeah. You didn't really seem like you were that enthusiastic once you got to TNA anyways. Not gonna
No,
lie.
you could tell I wasn't like it was just like I was more enthusiastic with Ring of Honor and NXT than I was with fucking
But
TNA.
yeah, once you got to TNA, you would just
Yeah. Oh yeah,
you were
that
just
was
like
cool, I guess.
you were just like me. If you remember that one TNA review I did when Eric Young ripped
Well, no,
off
I wasn't that bad. You were just bored out of your mind. Except for the first best of 5 series match.
because it was good. I mean, I didn't think the hardcore match was that bad, but I was just done at that point after watching all that stuff. So, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and you know what else was the yeah, it was yeah, and then that whole Samuel Shaw stuff with TNA was bad too. Actually, now that I think.
Oh god, fucking Samuel Shaw.
I feel like that's WWE is doing better with that with Marcus Louis. He's the good Samuel Shaw on WWE NXT.
He actually has a reason to be a fucking creep.
Yeah, Samuel Shaw.
Like he's more like a sewer rat now.
Yeah, Samuel Shaw just became a creep out of nowhere. It just happened out of nowhere.
Like literally, yeah. Well, literally, he came from Gut Check, right? Like TNA's version of Tough Enough,
Yeah, and he was called Sam Shaw, and he was like this extreme biker guy or something. I
and
don't
it
know.
was actually over. I was into the original Sam Shaw gimmick, and they
I
just
mean, I was into it somewhat, but it was never on TV, so I really couldn't get into it.
And by the way, like out of all rookies they could have gotten from you just said he was like a biker.
I mean, extreme
Who thought
biker.
no, we'll put Wes Briscoe, who can't wrestle, out of all 3 members of the fucking Briscoe younglings. And we'll put in Garrett Bischoff because Eric Bischoff's fucking employed. But we're not gonna put in Samuel Shaw, whose original gimmick was a biker.
No, wait. I have it wrong. It was Extreme Sports. Sorry, but yeah, I think biking wasn't.
Motocross is a fucking sport.
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
Did they? Can we like end this before I have an aneurysm of sheer stupidity, please?
Well, there's one more. I wanted to ask you about the tough enough thing at the end. I know you're not in the mood now, but I know you haven't seen.
Really.
Have you seen any of Tough Enough? I just want to ask you one now.
No, I haven't. I haven't really gotten a chance. Again, I've been incognito of like wrestling for like 2 weeks now. I except for the Beast in the East.
Which was good.
Yeah, which was very good.
The only match I really didn't like was the main event, but you know.
Yeah, that was so stupid. Don't you mean? They should have done Cena and Cesaro for the U.S. title for the main event. That would have saved that show so bad, especially after Raw. Like I watched the match later on YouTube, like that Cena and Cesaro. I'd rather talk about that. Fuck Tough Enough. Talk about Cena and Cesaro.
It was amazing. I couldn't even talk.
An amazing fucking match again by these two. I said it numerous times. Every time they're in the ring, they bring out the best in each other. Every fucking time.
Yeah.
Every time. Like Cena, but this was by far their best encounter. And what it really reminded me of was a nowadays Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior feel.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Yeah.
It was like surreal. It was an amazing match. That motherfucking uppercut that they did on Cena. Cena tries to go for the freaking leapfrog and Cesaro pushes him up. He goes like freaking 13 feet in the air and uppercuts him. Like
you know, I'm gonna say what was really good in that match too. The commentary wasn't even that. Michael Cole was pretty good on commentary in that match.
Michael Cole's always on point when in the right moments. Like,
I actually feel like Byron Saxton's improved on commentary too.
Yeah,
somewhat.
And all along, JBL's not improving. He's still the same.
Titus O'Neil. I don't know if you've seen it, but Titus O'Neil called him out on it. On commentary.
Thank you, God.
Like
Somebody
it
did.
was the Kingston and Big E versus the Lucha Dragons, and they were doing commentary, primetime players because they're feuding, with the New Day. And Titus O'Neil was even like calling commentary. He's like, JBL, why aren't you talking? Why aren't you saying anything? I'm outshining you on the commentary or something like that. You have to rewatch it. I don't remember the exact words point by point.
I don't blame. He's probably gonna get hurt. He's probably gonna get hurt and punished for that one. I guarantee you, the titles are going right back to New Day for that one.
I feel like they
Don't,
even got. I hope that
don't.
doesn't.
It's gonna happen. Believe me, it's gonna happen at Battleground. It's already set in stone with that comment. It's already gonna be set in stone.
Yeah.
Sadly, it is.
I feel like they might anyway, because the New Day are looking bad. They probably want to rebuild their credibility because the primetime players have been kicking their asses in the feud. Even though I don't like it, it might make sense. It wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't make sense, but
no. How about we say we're gonna disband? We're gonna go back to the original fucking things we were doing. Okay, and we're gonna be nice people, and we're gonna continue being mid card wrestlers. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. No more affection, no more cap, no more annoying the people that watch the fucking product. How about we just say, fuck it, primetime players win. Let's have them feud with the Usos, and have the Usos win the belts, and then maybe you'll have a better tag team division in the end of it. Thank you.
I actually said that. I said the same thing to my cousin and uncle. I said they should just get rid of the New Day, just out of the blue. Which maybe not out of the blue, but just get rid of them. But my cousins even said, "Well, you wouldn't want to do that because Kofi Kingston doesn't have a purpose. Kofi Kingston's finally at least has a purpose of being on the show. He was always just floating around doing nothing."
Okay, so where is he in the main event as a heel?
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. He kind of acted heelish against Randy Orton, even though he was getting over with it because he was a babyface going after Orton. I don't know. He was kind of being a dick and poured paint all over his car. No, nobody thought that, maybe he could be a top heel.
Yeah.
Right over their head.
Yeah. Yeah, they really screwed up Kofi Kingston over the past years.
Yep, and all started with Randy Orton. I guess because Kofi didn't. He was supposed to take the punk kick, and Orton did the RKO instead because Kofi didn't get his cue.
Orton even said stupid. So stupid. It's just like, whatever. But yeah, the Cena Cesaro match though, amazing match. Cena's like pulling out some really new moves in his arsenal. Like he's really impressing me. He's pulling out some amazing moves.
His matches with Owens, and he's been having classics in the mid card, man. Like that's weird. Like he would have classics, but like he would have like classic main events. Don't get me wrong. Like he had a classic feud with Edge, had a classic feud with Punk, had a classic feud with Shawn Michaels. Like he had a classic feud with a lot of people, but
I don't even know what it is. It seems like that he can work with guys that are like that size, like the Edges, the CM Punks, the Shawn Michaels,
but like the fact that he has had 3 straight classic matches about to be 3 straight classic matches with Owens, has classic matches with Cesaro, and is having a classic and had a classic match with like guys like even Bad News Barrett.
Well, he's now known as King Barrett.
Yeah, Tony, man.
At least King Barrett's starting to win matches again, even though they're not clean. They're not, with significant victories.
Can I be honest with you? Barrett and Sheamus shouldn't have even won their respective things. Like Barrett never should have won the King of the Ring. Sheamus never should have won the Money in the Bank. Ziggler should have been the one to win Money in the Bank, and Neville should have been the one to ring King of the Ring. That would have really cementified themselves as they're going to be the future of the industry.
I have
That
a question.
really should have been what happened. And do you have any idea how great that feud would have been in the end? There
Oh
would
my
have been a
gosh.
payoff if they did that. Like that's what kills me is that they didn't see an opportune moment with Ziggler and being Money in the Bank and Neville being king of the ring. It went so far over their heads, and I can't. They went with the loss of the Shuffle in Bad News Barrett and turned his gimmick so bad that it's unbearable to even look at anymore. And
I mean, I can
like
see why they would want
Sheamus,
to.
and then Sheamus is like his gimmick was getting over by himself. It didn't really need a Money in the Bank briefcase to solidify how good he was as a heel. And they gave it to them for no reason. It was Neville's time. It was Ziggler's time. And I think that's part of the reason why Ziggler is fucking frustrated and wants to leave.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that. I hear he wants to. He's not gonna be signing his contract. Like I don't know. I
And I
read
don't
some.
blame him. I
I
really
read
don't
some.
blame him.
I read somewhere though that he did.
Yeah, he
Sign.
did for one more year. If they don't give him a big push by the end of the year, then he's not going to resign. That's just the bottom line.
I mean, it's not like they don't even push him. So T's pushing him like what they did at Survivor Series last year, and then nothing.
Yeah, it's bad, man. I can't even like with that.
But
I
yeah,
can't stress how horrible of decisions those are because they had a lot of potential with Ziggler if they gave him the Money in the Bank. Like they had a feud set in stone
this feud with him and
With Ziggler and Neville if they did that the way they should have done it, and they just never did it. I don't understand why,
and
and
this feud
I'll never understand why.
with him and Rusev is terrible.
It's it's one of the most pointless feuds in wrestling history,
Like the reason why
and with a shitty reason behind it backstage, like over a personal vendetta because Vince doesn't feel like Rusev deserves Lana.
yeah, like I know like there's so many things that are bad about this feud. Like you have Rusev and Lana actually dated in real life. Imagine how awkward this would be if you had to do this with your girlfriend, pretend to hate him, kiss another woman right in front of her. I would
No,
feel awkward.
it's you can tell. I actually feel bad for Rusev. Like I'm not the biggest fan of his ring work, honestly, but like I don't want to see a human being. You could see he's truly falling apart. Like not just in storyline, just in life. You could tell just by the looking in his eyes. Like he's
Yeah.
not happy.
Yeah, and then another thing too is that this makes Rusev look bad. A guy that was just undefeated last year, and now he looks weak. He looks weak. And the fact is, he was injured, and he had to still come on TV for this storyline.
Again, I've said like I wanted him to lose anyway, and look, because I really didn't see the purpose of a Russian character. But like, don't try to break up something so good like in real life. You're
Yeah,
breaking up true love, man.
and then
Like
like
I'm sorry, I sounded so hippie when I said that, but you really are breaking up true love. And all because of like some fucking vendetta in the mind of Vince.
well, yeah, and like
Which, by the way, do you want me to post a Vince McMahon rant I did? Because I really went off on this guy. Like, I really totally gone
when
off.
did you made a video about it?
Yeah, like way back, like a month ago, I think.
Oh, I guess it would be fine. I mean, if it's still current with, I guess it would be pretty current
It
because.
is pretty current. It's pretty current with everything he's been doing lately, and this
Did
is
you hear, by the way, that he doesn't want the commentators to say backbreaker anymore, like on commentary? I don't know. Did you hear about that? What sense does that make?
what are we gonna call it? Knee crushing back.
What do you think? I think Michael Cole, because when Sheamus did his Iris Coast backbreaker, well, he just said a knee right to the back by Sheamus. It's not his fault because he can't say the move. And I don't know if you heard too. The commentary rules got leaked out too. I don't know if you heard about that.
I saw those. Don't even get me started. The fact that you can't call things like JR used to call them anymore. It's just a vendetta on fucking JR. This is really, it's really
Yeah.
what. Give me a fucking break. Like, everybody wants to say, well, commentary has changed over the years. It changed with Bobby Heenan. I'm like, yeah, they can fucking change. But how long was it that Heenan and fucking Gorilla Monsoon and all those guys were on commentary? They were there for a long time.
Yeah.
And Jim Ross's commentary was completely fine. But when Jim Ross opened his mouth about how WCW had a better product, it's been a hatred of Jim Ross ever since. To the point where they humiliated him on TV 3 times. They released him unjustly 2 times. And now they're changing commentary rules so they don't sound like JR.
There isn't going to be another JR, but come on, at least try.
Yeah.
Like, they won't even, like...
I don't blame Cole for what he's doing. I blame JBL for everything he's doing. But I don't blame Cole for, like, how he's handling himself. I'm pretty sure if he... Because he was taught by JR.
His
And
commentary...
like, everything he was ever taught by JR, like, goes out the fucking window.
I mean, like, Michael Cole's commentary work on the Beast of the East show was really good. When he doesn't have Vince in his ear, he's really good on commentary.
Yep.
What about Byron Saxton? I know I said he's improved. What do you think? Do you think he's improved?
Oh yeah. The Coons improved.
What about I don't know. I know you haven't watched SmackDown. Tom Phillips. How do you think he's been doing? Or do you not know?
I don't like him.
Lawless.
I like him on 5 Things. He's he's a very knowledgeable guy. I like him on 5 Things, but
but they probably have to write some things for him to say.
Oh yeah, obviously. Well, yeah, but he's still the host of the show. I just don't really like him on commentary.
I like Rich Brennan on commentary. Really good.
NXT has the best commentary out there right now because Byron Saxton's good. Corey Graves is amazing heel commentator, and you got Rich Brennan, who's just a great commentator right now in NXT. So I think they can't really do anything to.
I don't know if you know this, but Jimmy Uso, since Jey Uso's injured.
What?
Huh? You couldn't hear me?
What, J&J Security got released?
No. I said Jimmy Uso. I said Jimmy Uso since Jey Uso's injured. Jimmy Uso's been doing commentary lately on Main Event, Superstars, and now he's doing one for SmackDown. He's not that bad. He's not experienced with it though, so and it's probably not going to be forever. But he does.
Well, I mean, if he replaces Tom Phillips, I'd rather hear him than Tom Phillips.
Yeah, it's him, Tom Phillips, and Lawler on commentary right now. And on Raw, it's JBL, Michael Cole, and Byron Saxton. Booker T is doing Tough Enough right now, so they had Byron Saxton go on Raw.
Well, he's actually learning a lot from Cole. Obviously, you can tell he's taking pointers from Cole.
I think when he's not being
JBL.
I think when he's not being a heel commentator on SmackDown, him as a heel doesn't work. I think that's what was killing his commentary.
Yeah. Byron Saxton is a face commentator all day long. It's obvious.
Yeah. I really want to talk.
By the way, have you heard rumors about I'm hearing rumor. I don't think it's true, but I'm hearing rumors from some sites that Corey Graves might come back, as a full-time wrestler, they do pull he'll come back, align himself with Owens or somebody as a heel, and then they're gonna have some sort of feud between him and Riley.
That would be pretty cool.
I'm hearing that, but I'm there's no way. He's got way too bad of a concussion right now.
Yeah. At least that's what I like about Triple H too. I know you haven't seen the E60 thing on the.
I mean, you know what I think would be awesome if NXT ever went 2 hours and are going to have like a pay-per-view special that goes 3 hours, like an NXT takeover show, they should consider like doing the television title or like an interactive title match, like whatever they called it mid card. They should consider calling it. They should consider doing the match Corey if it actually does happen. Corey Graves and Alex Riley, like
At this,
two guys that they said would never make it in the wrestling business, and they made it.
yeah.
And only one can be the true champion. And maybe this is where Alex Riley finally shines and comes out on top. And then, like, the respect in the whole thing would be amazing.
I think Alex Riley's gonna turn heel though because of his promo that he cut before he got injured. I don't know. Do you remember that? I don't. Did he die?
Huh?
I said I think Alex Riley is gonna be a heel when he comes back because of that promo that he cut.
All right. Well, yeah. Why don't we wrap this up though? Because I'm getting like buzzed so bad on my phone.
Right.
And I was supposed to call this kid like.
Can we just talk about Tough Enough real quick?
Honestly, no. I gotta talk to him, and then I gotta like go to bed pretty early. So it's not with you. I just.
All right. Yeah. We'll wrap this up.
All right. So.
Just I'm still gonna
Johnny,
call this.
hang on, dude. Like you're buzzing my phone. Chill. Hold on a second. All right, guys. So, I gotta go, dude. But you can end this however you want. But guys, check out my channel, Jay Hubert Side. Check out Weymouth Youth Wrestling over here. Check out my show that I'm a part with Owen, the Minnesota Wrestling Corner, which we're coming back with this fall, and then whatever's down here, like the subscribe of Owen. But I gotta go because I'm getting buzzed. Bye.
By the way, I'm gonna leave you more information with Battleground, whether you can come to my house or not, because I think
I've already made it apparent. I'm gonna go to Chris's house for Battleground, I think.
Okay.
All right, brother. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Talk to you later. Bye. All right. Yeah. Just subscribe, like he said. So that's pretty much it. See you later.